everything going here. There we go. Should be good. All right, so let's have YouTube connect and everything here for our live stream, guys. So today is February 26th, 2023, coming at you. We'll talk about the Walking Dead universe, some information that we broke in the Walking Dead community, Last of Us episode tonight, bunch of other things, and a movie that my wife and I watched yesterday, and into today. So it was pretty cool stuff. The latest stuff about The Walking Dead, there's actually been more stuff now than there's been for the past couple weeks. So, yeah, we'll just wait for people to join in. And if you want to put some comments in the chat, any questions, address it to Q&A. So I know it's a question for me. If you want to do a super chat, they're always welcome. We truly appreciate it. And hopefully you and yours are safe and sound and you're doing well. That being said, it's been a little crazy week. I'm ready to get into March, then April, and then May. Because once we get into May, we'll have some Walking Dead universe shows on there. So we got Fear the Walking Dead, and then Dead City, and then probably the second half of Fear the Walking Dead, and then the Daryl show, and then that'll be the end of the year. Into the Rick and Michonne show, that will be early 2024, which I would think would be February. Fear the Walking Dead will be done after this season. Then Dead City and the Daryl show, whatever that's called, Raise the Dead or whatever we're going with there too. So thank you guys for being a part of it. This laptop has seen better days. This may be and probably will be the last time I use this laptop. I got a new laptop a couple days ago. It was a whole big thing. It just was weird to buy a laptop on Amazon, but I got one, and it's a process to bring stuff over from this laptop to the other. It's a whole big thing, you know. You can't just transfer files over. You gotta I use an external hard drive to move stuff over, and I can't make videos with the new laptop because all my stuff's on here. So it's just a mess. So it may be down a little bit for transferring stuff over. But thank you guys for being here. We truly appreciate it. Thank you, Negan 1, Big Tree, Rob K, Constipated in Sin City, The Gaming Hippo, Lindsay, and John, and a bunch of other people joining today. Mahood, thank you guys. We truly appreciate all the support, you know. So if you guys saw one of my recent videos about, you know, Rick Grimes filming, awesome stuff. So I want to get into that, you know, because right away. So it was, I don't even know, a couple of days now ago that my friend Phil, if you know my book series, you know there's a Phil character in there, and it's loosely based on him and a bunch of my friends that I grew up with. But I've known him since I was a little kid, like elementary school. And when I went home in December, he took a picture with me, and he like jokingly called me One Eye Bry because he knows me as Brian or Grenda or whatever, not One Eye Bry from YouTube. But he's got a friend that loves The Walking Dead, and she, I think, messaged me one time on the channel, and it was kind of funny. And she, he like told her to message me this inside joke that's going around since high school. And he said he got a message from her this past day because she was right by filming. And she's like, I got spoilers if your friend wants to know. And so I immediately texted him back and said, yeah, tell her I want to know the spoilers. And then she was like, he was going to give me her number and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, just message me on Facebook. So then we became Facebook friends, and now we're talking there. And she had this information, and she had pictures, and she was there with a friend for like hours. And she lives in South Jersey. They're filming in North Jersey. And she was there, and she got really close to the, you know, behind the scenes, you know, trailer, you know, just where they're camping, I'm blanking on the word, but where they be for, you know, behind the scenes, and they get ready for stuff on there too. And so she got to talk to some people, and she got some information. And I was like, I'm not trying to get anyone in trouble. I'm not trying to get her in trouble or anybody that she talked to in trouble. But she told me some information that I shared in a video, and definitely want to go check that out if you want to know that information. But I don't know how much is true, how much is not. But she potentially saw the stunt doubles for Rick and Michonne. And then she's like, I got to see Rick. I got to see Rick. And literally, I was like, she was thinking that today was the day, and she was trying to stay positive, and she was trying to do well with it. And she was doing that. And I was like, yeah, you got to stay positive. You got to do it. Today, you never know. You never know. And you got to have faith. And 10 minutes later, not even 5-10 minutes later, I don't even remember, she messages me, and she says, I met Rick. And I'm like, crazy, right? And then my internet went down, so then I had to reboot the modem and this and that, and she's messaging me, and she had the pictures that I shared in the video, meeting Andrew Lincoln. And I'm like, that's amazing. First of all, it's hard to meet Andrew Lincoln. Unless you meet him at the airport or whatever, he doesn't really do conventions anymore. He doesn't really do much like that. But if you ever get a chance to meet him, that's tough to do. He is not really accessible like a lot of people, like Norman Reedus and a bunch of that used to do conventions. And so she got a picture with him, and then she told me a couple stuff there. And then I saw that she sent a couple pictures to me, and then she posted a couple pictures on Facebook, and then she sent me the other pictures there too. So then I have the one picture that's going around everywhere. And I told her, like, look, I'm going to put at the PT channel, watermark it kind of a thing. And because I don't know if she was trying to remain anonymous or whatever on there too. And sure enough, all these people took screenshots of it, and it's everywhere on Facebook and social media and Twitter and all this stuff, right? And it's crazy to think that some people are giving credit, some people aren't. And it's happened for a while now, right? And I've always tried to give credit where credit is due, unless I don't know it, right? And I'll say it, these aren't my photos, I don't know who to give credit to on there too. And then the other ones that post stuff from France or whatever, the Daryl stuff, and you could crop out the information from Twitter and stuff, and you could just have the picture there as well. But I try to give credit for what it is, and then I'll share it and give people where credit is due. You know, credit your sources. That's the big thing. And you know, I was like, look at this. And then she said, yeah, I'm really glad you put the watermark on there, because it's everywhere now, because it's a big deal, especially the fact that what Rick is wearing. And it's just definitely a cool thing to see that, one, they're filming in New Jersey, and it's a really cool place to be that they filmed 2 shows. The Walking Dead universe is expanded to there. And Red City, we'll talk about that trailer. And Fear the Walking Dead came out with a trailer too. So pretty cool. Walking Dead Eternal, didn't she put Michonne one also? Well, that's the stunt double for Michonne. It's not actually Denai Guerrera. It's her stunt double. And I'm sure there's going to be a lot of stuff going around for who they saw and who this and there too. The real legit information is in my video, and then people, you know, posted it all over the place, and they're saying a lot of stuff. There's that. John Hillmars, the WM is WrestleMania. That's the wrestling WWE WrestleMania. Are you ready for WrestleMania? 39 days till WrestleMania. I'm over here counting like it's New Year's. Yes and no, John. Like, I don't really care. Like, I love the Royal Rumble. I love WrestleMania, certain things. I don't really care, and I do like SummerSlam as well. I don't really care about the other stuff. It just really doesn't really do anything for me. Like I said before, John, if Cody Rhodes does not beat Roman Reigns, it's pretty sad. Like, what are they doing? I think Cody Rhodes will be a better Universal Champ, and he can actually speak, even though he kind of has that little lisp thing when he talks. But I think he's a better person and personality to carry the next year or so with being the champ as Universal Champion, which would be pretty cool too. So. But, yeah, so we posted that, and it spread like wildfire. So if you see it all over the place and you don't see our name on it, you know that they stole it from me and removed the watermark and whatever they did there. And so that was pretty cool stuff to see that information going around, that it spreads like crazy, because people are excited somewhat for the Walking Dead information. I believe right now, as I make this video, the 24th through the 26th today, is Atlanta Comic Convention, not Comic-Con or not any of the other Atlanta Comic Convention. I think that is pretty cool. I've seen a bunch of people have some awesome photos there. I know people have met Tara and Maggie and Carl and Lance and Jesse, and who else is there? Some people from Cobra Kai. Man, I'm just blanking on who else would be there, but I know that Abraham had to drop out probably because he's filming that Superman show. He's the Lex Luthor. So pretty cool stuff. People are still involved with that, and it's cool. I like the idea of having other personalities and other, like the people from Cobra Kai and other shows in there too. So there's a little something for everyone. And I'm not there, obviously. I'm doing the live stream. But if you are there and you're watching this later, hopefully you had a good time and you get some cool autographs and pictures with, the cast of The Walking Dead or whatever show you're there, because it's always been a good time. Constipated in Sin City. Hey, PT, the sequel to Army of the Dead is going to begin filming in a few months. I have to go ready for it since I didn't read the last film. Army of the Dead. That's the one with Netflix and Batista and everybody and there too. That was decent. It was kind of cool. And then there was like a prequel thing with them cracking the safes, right? Is that what Army of the Dead was a little different twist? It's I'm blanking on the guy's name. Zach something, right? He's the one responsible for that movie. Army of the Dead was decent. If it's still there on Netflix, because I think they ordered a couple of different movies of that, but it was a nice little different twist. Let me see. Azul's Blue Fire Q&A. Now that we have The Last of Us, will The Walking Dead, once Rick Grimes is back, get a lot of views and fans will come back? I don't know. That's a good question, Azula's Blue Fire. Well, The Last of Us is different than The Walking Dead. It's a zombie apocalypse or apocalyptic type show. It's not nearly the same thing. It's different. It's a fungus versus parasites versus walkers versus this versus that. Ellie, Joel, we have it's very clear cut what the actual story is for The Last of Us. The Walking Dead was kind of this, kind of that. Who's the main character? What are they trying to do? After Rick met his family and found his family, what are they going to do? They survive. Are people the problem? Are walkers the problem? How did it start? This, that, CRM, throw in the mix, and then all these other spinoffs, and we're still left holding the bag with some things in some areas. So we're still kind of there too. I hope The Walking Dead people still care about it. Well, The Walking Dead now, it ended in November, was the last episode, and we don't have anything Walking Dead related television. We have teasers and trailers and speculation and videos like this, but we don't have anything until May. So that's December, January, February, March, April, May. That's 6 months really for no Walking Dead. And I'm sure they didn't want to go up against The Last of Us. But there's no reason that Fear the Walking Dead. So The Last of Us has 3 episodes left. 1 tonight and then 2 weeks there. In March. You could have had April could have been Fear the Walking Dead. But they decided not to go that route. They're going to go May 14th for that. I don't know if it's going to be on AMC Plus early or not. But I think people will come back too. Let me see anything else. Sorry, I scrolled up. Yenzi, hi, Bri, how are you? I'm doing all right. How are you, Yenzi? How's everybody else doing? You doing all right? Let me know in the comments, making it through. It's been a little hectic stuff, and it's going to be a little crazier week this too with my job. I got some more training left to do there. It's like the final bit of training, and we're still going. Jonathan Wilder, Q&A, Last of Us cast a Walking Dead character. Did you notice her? Yes, I did, John. So last episode, we'll talk about that. Don't worry. She was a minor character. She was in one episode of The Walking Dead. And, saw her. Definitely pointed that out in my review and some stuff there. And they really highlighted and stepped things up for characters for the second season. If you know the video games, you know that there was some connections setting things there. I excited to see where it's going to go. A lot of people are asking if we're going to see Abby next. Because we think we saw Dina. We saw Shimmer. That's the horse. And, stuff happened the way it was happening in the video game, setting things up. I don't know how we would see Abby yet. If anything, we would see her at the very end of the season. You know, she would be in the last episode. And she probably will. She probably will. It would make sense. Because they're doing a great job with setting things up for the future season, next season there. And overall, it's been really good, too. So I'm really excited for there. Constipated in Sin City. Do you know which zombie was the first variant? The first variant we saw was Teddy Bear Girl, I'm guessing. That's the first walker we see in the entire show, and let alone she picks up something and starts to kind of move quickly at Rick. So I think that's what I would go with. But I don't know in the grand scheme of things, variants, what was the fast one, what was the first one, and what was this, and what it's just not clear. The Walking Dead is clear as mud. You know, it's really not there as well. But overall, guys, it's been really good. I've watched a movie recently that, like I said, yesterday into today, my wife and I watched Knock at the Cabin, the M. Night Shyamalan movie that was a book. I'll get into it a little bit. I don't want to give too many spoilers away, but I definitely recommend that movie. I like M. Night Shyamalan's movies. Goes back to The Sixth Sense. He films a lot in Pennsylvania. Philadelphia, Pennsylvania area, and I think this is supposedly continues that as well. I don't know if it was actually filmed in Pennsylvania, but it's supposed to take place there too. James, I'm excited about the new Fast and Furious movie. I don't know if excited's the word, but I'm interested in it. That's for sure. I don't know. I haven't been excited since Fast 5. That's been a long time ago there too. So we watched Knock at the Cabin. If you've seen it, let me know your thoughts. Did you enjoy it? Don't give anything away, but did you enjoy the movie? I'll give you my thoughts too. So, like I said, Knock at the Cabin, M. Night Shyamalan movie was interesting because I never read the book. I don't think I've ever read any of the books that were turned into movies. I just never done that. And I'm pretty sure the books are always better than the movies. A lot of people have said that, but it's something that I just don't know because I haven't really done that myself. But it's a good movie. It's a different type of movie, and I like different types of movies. We don't need the same old, crap, the same stuff that's there. I haven't seen Cocaine Bear. I have not seen it yet. Winterfell 26 says Cocaine Bear is nuts. It looks crazy, and it looks to be, I think they said it's a true story, like it really happened. Yeah. So Winterfell 26, it's called Knock at the Cabin. It stars Dave Bautista, and I don't really know any of the other actors besides the guy from Harry Potter. The red-haired guy from Harry Potter is in the movie too. I don't even know his name, but the big name is Dave Bautista. So it's worth checking out. Again, Knock at the Cabin. We watched it. I would say it was pretty good. Rupert from Harry Potter. I'm not a big Harry Potter person myself, but Rupert. So we watched that. We watched the Netflix, series about the PGA Tour called Full Swing. Pretty good. I like golf. I like a lot of those golfers. Ron Weasley, exactly. That's his name in Harry Potter. So we watched that and then broke the news about the Rick Grimes stuff. So what I'm seeing from the pictures is so if you've seen the video, you know what I'm talking about. Hey, Phantom. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So Carol, it says Sonic recommends that movie. I recommend Knock at the Cabin too. It's good. It's a good movie. So let's talk about the Rick Grimes stuff. So Rick Grimes looking like a CRM soldier. A lot of people are going to ask the question, is Rick Grimes going to be a high-ranking person in the CRM? Is he going to take control of the CRM? Is he just trying to fit in and blend in? There's no way to tell, but I don't. So if Rick Grimes is going to be a high-ranking person there too, that's really far-fetched. Like, we know that Jadis was already far-fetched. So if you know the world beyond, you know that Jadis came back around, and she was the leader of a cult, a group, a community that were like artists that were, making different paintings and sculptures and whatever else they were doing. But they also had a thing which doesn't really make sense. If you already had the campus colony, and if you already had the Portland connection, if you already had different scientists working on different people and, different test subjects, why would you have to have a walker bite a person in the helicopter before they get in the helicopter to be taken back to one of the facilities, I'm guessing Philadelphia or, New York or wherever, not too far away from the Virginia area? Why would you have to have that? Not just send people there, have a walker bite them there, and then run the trial. Like, it just kind of is like, it doesn't make sense looking back at it. And the trial would be the experiment on the test subject, participant, whatever you want to call them. And she ranked up pretty fast, and she's rocking the CRM gear. She's got the jacket, basically what Rick looks like in the picture. And then we're like, okay, so what's going to happen with that? What's going to happen with there? And, is it going to make sense? I hope so. Just the writing could be really dumb, and it could be far-fetched. And there's some stuff that's like, makes you go, that's, if stuff doesn't add up, if, like, Rick Grimes is not important to anyone but us, because we know Rick. He's our main guy. Is he the cure? Is he to have the antibodies? Does he have the knowledge of how to do anything that way? Not that we know of, but you never know. They could just write that in there. He's just Rick Grimes trying to survive. Helicopter crash potentially. This gets away. Will he reunite with Michonne right away? Will it be an episode or two? We'll have to see. But there's been different reports, really from my source, that could be. It could happen there too. Yenzi asks, Q&A, do you think The Last of Us Part 2 will be 2 seasons or 3 since that story is longer? I would think they're going to stretch it out to try and get 3 seasons out of it, and that'll probably be the run of it, because it's really good and it's doing really well with viewership. The ratings are going up more and more and more with every episode, and I think the people that played the video games like the show. Some people don't. Like last time, somebody didn't really like it. But I like the idea of the show being really good. It matches the video. It's like better than the video game because it does everything the video game does, in my opinion, plus adds to more story for it. So that's really a good way of doing it. Season 2 could be the same thing where we talk about the second video game, the second thing there. And it just could be something that makes sense to have a 3rd season to stretch it out, but also not rush it. That's just, it's a shame when stuff makes, this, like, The Walking Dead is not the only show that has done this, right? And the other thing, so Walking Dead Eternal, haven't played the game, but do you like the show, Walking Dead Eternal? Because I know a lot of people have not played the video game at all. They may watch some of the walkthroughs on YouTube, but do you enjoy the show nonetheless? And I think a lot of people have. But, so what happens is a lot of shows, they start off good or they start off kind of weak. They hit their stride early on, maybe the 2nd or 3rd season. The Walking Dead, to me, really hit its stride in the 4th, 5th, and 6th seasons. And then 7 was an 8, and 8 were like, 9 was all right, 9, 10 was all right, and then COVID stuff, and then 11, and then it's over. And then you get to a certain point, how do you end it? Do you have to rush it? Do you have to do things? And, with Angela Kang doing stuff, when she was talking about how she had stuff planned for Oceanside and then they weren't able to film it, and stuff was planned with Annie, Negan's wife, that is something that wasn't seen either. So it just seems like stuff was there, but they couldn't do it for unknown reasons. So, I'm not sure. And it just kind of feels that way too. But it's something that we just have to deal with and keep rolling on. And we got 2 shows coming up for sure in the first half of the year. And then I'm guessing the Daryl show will probably be in October. That just makes the most sense because to me, the Walking Dead universe is February, October, and then they added summer shows and stuff like that too. But so Fear the Walking Dead is the first season or first series that's coming back for us. It's the final season. But they just had the wrap party, I think, on the 16th, so like 10 days ago. Or was the 18th or something? I don't know. So like a week and a half ago. But so I think they're filming the last episode. They'll go into March, and then this series will be done. The big questions are, will Alicia show up? Will Madison be reunited with Alicia? Who survives? Who makes it to other shows? Will Morgan find the bottle? The timeline is supposed to be expedited to catch up with the same timeline that the universe is in the Walking Dead universe. So will any of those characters go to the Rick show, the Negan Maggie show, or the Daryl show, or whatever? A lot of questions like that remain, but we'll have to see where it ends up. They're going to probably keep a lot of characters alive, just like they did in The Walking Dead. We'll probably have one character. So my theory is of Fear the Walking Dead, after the trailer, Padre already makes no sense to me because Padre, if you watch season 7, was supposed to be all about the kids. All about saving the kids, protecting the kids, taking the kids. They don't want adults. They want kids. And on Fear the Walking Dead, the main cast, Morgan, Dwight, Madison, Strand, Daniel, June, Sherry was pregnant, so they would keep her alive. All those characters should be gone because they're adults, right? You have Charlie and Baby Mo, and Grace, she should die. So the adults should be gone because that's kind of what it was, right? The way Madison really portrayed them is like they don't want adults, they want the kids. They want the babies. They want to go that way. Okay. But Madison was a collector or whatever person for them, so she got to stay alive for that. The way it ended with Morgan going back with her, okay, she doesn't know where it's supposed to be. It's filmed in Savannah. Are they going to be in Georgia? They're going to be in, Mississippi or Florida or whatever. I don't know where they're going to be. But the big thing about it is it already doesn't make sense on that avenue of it. Is it going to be this rewarding, great series? I don't think it's been good, right? It's been one of those things where the show has been all over the place. The identity of the show hasn't really been clear cut, which hurts the show. Like, if you don't know what you're going to be, how can you really make it the best it's going to be? You have to have the same level of it. You need to get it, stick with it, story, and just go there too. That being said, there's no way that, in my opinion, that Morgan's going to die. Does Madison die? I mean, it doesn't really matter. I don't really like the character at all. Does Althea come back? Who's Padre? Are they connected with the Negan and Maggie story? Because if you saw the teaser trailer, you saw that Herschel was taken. And I'm going to be doing some breakdowns of those videos or those trailers once my life gets a little less hectic for it. And it's just something that Morgan's being Morgan. You can see he has the clear stuff on there, so we're going to get clear Morgan back. But again, I'll have a whole trailer breakdown of that in a separate video, and we'll focus on that a little more in that as well. But I don't know, Fear the Walking Dead. I'm glad Fear the Walking Dead is over. Just end it already. It's like a bad relationship, right? That you keep going back to the person and keep going back, and things are going to change and things are going to get better, and then they get better for a little bit, and then it goes back to the same old stuff, and it gets worse, and then you're like, why did I come back to this person? I don't know. And then all of a sudden, it's just over. Yep, you grow up, or you separate, and you just think it's like there too. To me, it's like a bad relationship. Just get over with it, right? So that's just how I feel. I don't know if it's the best example, but it works for me. Phantom Deluxe Q&A. Do you think it would be a major plot twist if they turn Rick into a... I don't want to hear the Rick villain go against Michonne. Like, no, we don't want that. That it's been like Rick's going to have amnesia. Rick's going to be a villain. Rick's going to go against this. Rick's going to go against... No, Rick... Clearly the synopsis says two lovers found, like, two together against each... It just doesn't make sense for it to be, them go against each other. Like, Rick's going to be like, my name is Ron. I'm not Rick. I'm Ron Grimes. I'm a bad guy now. No. Okay, no. Michonne and Rick are there to find each other, reunite, get together, and get back to whatever, or try to survive and wherever the story entails. That being said, the word is from a lot of sources that people are saying a lot of different stuff is that we're already going to get a second season, which is cool. I don't know if they're going to film all the way through it, the first and second season, if they're going to film a little bit and film a little bit there. I don't know. It just, we'll have to see. I just hope it works. I hope the big thing about it is that Rick and Michonne's story works. It's good. It's entertaining. It sets up other connections with other casts to come around. How about Carol? How about Morgan? How about Negan and Maggie? They're right there in New York. If Rick's in Philadelphia, you're not that far away. I think we need interactions with Rick and Negan, Rick and Morgan, and of course Rick and Judith and RJ and all the cast like that. We need the reunited story for it too. But I don't need to see Rick as a high-ranking official in the CRM, and he's like, we're going to go bomb Alexandria, attack! No, I don't want to see any of that stuff. That's a soap opera. That's dumb. That's just, no. That's just like I said, telenovela, terrible stuff, and we'll see. We'll see what Gimple and the writers want to do with it. They can do whatever they want, and so, I don't know. Jonathan Wilder. Yeah, I mean, well, let's get to that second season. Well, let's finish the first season of The Last of Us before we talk about the second season and this and that. Maybe there's a twist. Maybe he doesn't. We'll have to see, because things could change. They could switch that up. Which I think enough of the outrage from the second game, I think that they could change something there too. That doesn't necessarily have to happen. It probably will happen for the story's sake, but it doesn't have to happen. But yeah, so for that to go on from here and there, it's just something that I'm excited to see what's going to happen with the series. And it's got me, I mean, I never lost interest completely, but I did like the fact that we're getting news, we're getting information, and the fact that Rick Grimes is actually being filmed. Andrew Lincoln, I haven't seen pictures of Denai Guerrera yet. I've seen her stunt double. I haven't seen this and that. It's really great that it's happening. I'll take that. That being said, I do want the series to be good, but I'm excited that we're going to actually see Rick Grimes and Michonne back in the Walking Dead universe. Are you excited? Let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below, as always. Right? So we'll have to see how it goes down. It remains to be seen. It's something to look forward to in 2024, which seems like forever. But if it happens in February, we're like a year out, right? We got a year to go. And 6 episodes is not a lot of episodes, but you got to think about it for post-production, music, lighting, visual effects, CGI, all the stuff that they post-production takes a while. And you want it to be done right. How many times did we see a trailer of The Walking Dead and there was mistakes in it? Remember the one with Carol where she's like, and there's no arrow in it? Like, it's a digital arrow. There was no arrow in her bow. And you're like, that's terrible. That made the trailer? And like more and more stuff happened that way on The Walking Dead. Like, how did you miss that? How did they miss certain things? I don't know. But it happens and we move on, right? So the Maggie Negan teaser trailer, right? So we've known for a while, I have a video about it, talking about the reason that, I guess for the whole series, is that Herschel is kidnapped. So we see Herschel, an older Herschel. He yells, "Mom!" and he's being taken away by 2 guys. And Maggie screams and yells, and there's a guy there who's like looking. And it looks like the guy who has the motorcycle helmet on that has like a blade stuck in it, or like a circular saw blade or something in there. Is that by design? Is that what happened where somebody hit him in the head? And then you see Maggie and Negan working together. Maggie even says, "You're the only one that can help me." Like, what is she, Princess Leia? "Help me, Negan. You're the only one. You're my only hope." Right? But we don't know if it's Negan who she's talking to, but I'm guessing she is. So does Negan know the guy that took Herschel? I would assume so. That's the only reason that would make sense, in my opinion, too. So I like the idea of more Walking Dead stuff. I don't know about Maggie and Negan working together. Will it make sense? Will it not? Will it be dumb? Will it be forced? Will it be all the questions and all the stuff that we want to find out? I think it's interesting to see what's going to happen with the show. I'm interested. I'm interested in all the shows. And that being said, Fear the Walking Dead is the weakest, and I'm interested to see what happens there because it's going to line up the time jump and stuff there, and it's the final season, so we have to kind of see what happens, right? Even if it's like a bad movie or a bad book or a bad TV show, you're like, I have to see how this ends. Let's just watch these 12 episodes and see what happens there too. So, yeah. Yeah, he says walkers. Well, he asked the question. He's like, the walkers are falling from the sky now? So they're falling out of windows or falling out of the building or something. And again, my question is how are there so many walkers still 12 years later in the zombie apocalypse? It's like, come on. And I'll do another trailer breakdown of that. And man, I'm looking at my delay here. It's like I'm looking at my YouTube thing. It's really delayed there too. I said something, I don't even know, a minute or so ago, and now it's coming up here. But so John, let's see, Q&A. Do you think they will cast for teenage Ellie? Who do you think? I think it should be the same actress. We don't need. Are they going to recast Joel because why, he's older? No, I mean Bella Ramsey is old enough to play older Ellie. I don't think they need to recast her at all. Just make her look older. And I'm fine with Bella. I think Bella's doing a good job. I think Pedro's doing a good job. I think all the castings have been really good. So last episode, if you guys didn't see my review, of The Last of Us. I guess it's not a review. It's just things talking about Dina, the girl that's in there too. So if you haven't seen The Last of Us, season 1, episode 6, definitely spoiler warning for all that stuff. So the big thing is Dina the girl behind the wooden pole in the restaurant that's looking at Ellie? I think so. I think it is. We see Shimmer. That's the horse that'll get older in season 2. That's basically Ellie's horse. And the lady that is married, it's Maria, I think, is married to Tommy. That is the woman that was Michonne's friend in season 10. So I think it's season 10. I don't know what episode 12 or so. She has all the kids. She's working with the kids to go into communities and steal them. And steal the stuff and steal whatever they're doing there too. She's Michonne's like friend before the apocalypse, Jocelyn, yeah. And so she's in the episode, and she's a much better character, in this story than she was there. And I immediately recognized her in the thing too. Just like we didn't watch Mayor of Kingstown this morning. We'll watch it this afternoon. I don't think my guy that watches that show's in here, but there's a couple actors in other shows like 1923 that are in Game of Thrones that are in that show, and it's always kind of cool to see certain actors like, hey, that's like Bella Ramsey, or Pedro, hey, it's Game of Thrones, it's so and so, or this character too. Yeah. Michonne's friend was a psycho, but she's not a psycho. The actress is not a psycho in Last of Us. And so again, if you saw the episode, that was a really big episode for the second season. It's the first season, but it's setting up the second season. You see the community that's there in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. You see their setup, how they're just self-sufficient and they're doing great, and that'll be kind of the same thing for the second season. That being said, Joel got injured at the end of the episode. The CGI monkeys. Yeah, I was hoping for the giraffe, and I'm still hoping to see the giraffe. I don't know if we'll see it later on or not, because in the game it kind of stood out to me is when Joel and Ellie, I guess, interact a giraffe. That's kind of wild. That's there, and it's eating some leaves or something inside a building, and it's kind of a cool little moment in the video game, and it's stuck with me. But Joel ends up getting injured, and Ellie has to, this episode coming up, go out, get help, and save Joel, basically. And this is the first time in the game, I believe, that you take control of Ellie, and you get to do some things as the character of Ellie. And then the second game, you're basically Ellie. Yeah, a lot of that in a lot of that game. You're Joel a little bit, but, Ellie as well. Phantom Deluxe, are you a fan of sitcoms, or are you more into rom-com movies? I like everything. I like movies, shows, sitcoms, stuff. It depends on what the content is and the story. It doesn't have to be, I watch stuff on TV, streaming stuff. It's just a bunch. If stuff draws my interest, it has to be something worthwhile. But majority, I don't need to see, like, I don't know. There's some stuff I don't care to watch for. Just not my bag, especially my age. I don't care about certain shows now. I watch the older stuff because it stays with you, like stuff you grew up with, just because the nostalgia feels. And I really I think now is like one of the golden eras of, I wouldn't say like reboots or continuation of the stories, like Cobra Kai, for example. That's a great addition to those Karate Kid movies, supporting the movies. It's not like they're redoing anything. We didn't get a new Daniel, a new Mr. Miyagi, a new this, and we got a continuation with the same actors and the same stuff there too. And I think we need more of that. And I think hopefully the success of Top Gun Maverick, Cobra Kai, just anything that's continuation of stories that were previously said in movies or other shows and whatever, I think it's just making sense to continue that. I think that's something that can continue on, and we'll see if they eventually do anything with this, with the Walking Dead universe too. That being said, like, walkers should never be a problem 30 years, 40 years into the zombie apocalypse. They should all be gone. Like, it just wouldn't make sense to do that. But now, like, there's going to be a lot. We already see a lot of walkers in the Dead City trailer. And that's so many years after. Like, so we're going to have 2 years after the end of The Walking Dead, which was a year after that, which was 10 years prior to that when they started. So we're close to like 15 years into the zombie apocalypse. Why are there so many walkers still? Because they need it. They need the chaos and the drama and the story and the stuff happens with it. But I just wish it was explained a little bit more. The lack of explanation in there, too, is something that is kind of annoying if you really buy into shows and you're really invested in it. The Last of Us, I have to say, I was talking to my dad about this because he hasn't watched it yet. And I didn't want to give anything away. And I was like, all I can say is that The Last of Us is different than The Walking Dead, but it has done more in 6 episodes than The Walking Dead did in 11 seasons with explaining the start, the cause, the story. Like, it's just done so much difference. It was just so much, I don't know, less BS and less stringing us out and stretching it out and just stringing us along with stuff that was like, man, it's just crazy. Yeah. Goodfellas says Cobra Kai is what Star Wars should have done with the sequel trilogy. I agree. And I think The Mandalorian is probably the best Star Wars thing we've had in a long, long time, which comes back on Wednesday. Should be exciting, should be awesome, and I'm excited to see. It looks great, the trailer. And that's one thing that, I don't think The Mandalorian is going to disappoint, but there are things that the trailers are sometimes misleading, and there's been good trailers of The Walking Dead. Like, I'll never forget what jumps out at me is, like, go back and watch. I think it's the season 6 trailer of The Walking Dead. Just go back and watch that. And you're going to see how they paint this picture like it's Morgan versus Rick. And it's not at all. That's not at all any really part of the season. Yeah, they have their, differences or discrepancies and whatever, but they work together. There's never a time where Rick and Morgan fight there and do anything. That happens with Morgan and Jesus. Morgan and Rick fight in season 3, not season 6, but it's misleading. It's like totally misleading. And it's just like, what? This isn't what happens at all. And especially after watching this season, you're like, this is pretty hilarious. Go back and watch it and let me know what you think. Dragon Q&A, urban legend. Why wouldn't people in NYC toss pennies, etc. off buildings, roofs to kill the walkers below? Great question. Why would you not make a spot that's no walkers and fill them in, like have a spot where they can't go, and exactly force them into a blockade that's between buildings, have music playing that draws them in, and then close the thing behind them so all the walkers are in there, have them in a kill zone, a kill box or whatever, and start launching cinder blocks and whatever at them. And just start taking them all out. Rinse and repeat, walkers are gone. The city is yours. Right? Zombie mousetrap. Something like that, right? I don't know. When we are smarter than the characters on the show, when the audience is smarter, it's really frustrating. Like, even when you think, okay, this character, like in horror movies, all the time in horror movies, they have the killer, whatever, dead to rights. They might even shoot him a couple times. And then they're like, oh, let's have a talk hold on. Yeah, I know. It's going to be really tough. Let's walk out of here. And then they kill you. And then the guy kills you. And you're like, what are you doing? Like, it happens every freaking time in these movies where you're like, stupid, even stupider. And it's just like one of those. It's like the formula for horror movies, right? And it's just one of those things where, like, man, this is dumb. And after time and time again, I'm like, I don't want to watch this stupid movie. That being said, so like I told you about the show Peacock on the show Poker Face on Peacock is a really good show. Even though this last episode really wasn't the best, it was still a decent, pretty good episode. But the other episodes have been better in my opinion. It was still worth watching. But I know they have that show Megan about the robot girl thing that I think it's unrated. I mean, I watched the like little trailer that they have on there. And it's so funny when she like dances and does this weird thing. I'm like, I don't know, is it worth watching? Like I could, like, to me, it just looks like a new Chucky, right? Which to me is hilarious. Like I don't need to go watch Chucky. I don't need to watch the show where there too is like the killer doll, and now it's the killer robot. It just seems very similar to that too, right? Right. Dragon says Megan is the new Chucky, but is it like good? Like I don't know. Is it worth watching? I do want to watch the one. It's like a Blumhouse movie where the girl, somebody's like going after the girl, and it's like COVID stuff, and she is in the street and she like bangs on the door or the glass of the car door, and she's like, "Do you have a mask? Can you put on that?" She's like, "Are you serious, lady?" Like I don't know what movie that is, but I'm like, I don't know if that came out yet or what. And you guys know what I'm talking about. Please let me know in the comments. Is it called Sick? Is that it? Yeah, Sick. I'm like, is that out yet? Is that coming out? Like, I kind of am interested in that, but you know, John says, what if zombies learn how to? That zombies reproducing would make no sense in the zombie apocalypse of The Walking Dead. Maybe on like Z Nation or like campy zombie shows and series, but like anytime you have like a zombie baby, it's like, you know, like I don't know. Like it just seems like cheesy. Even though in the one where they're in the mall, like Day of the Dead or Dawn of the Dead, but that was kind of cheesy too. But it was done in a way that was like, okay, I guess so. I mean, the mom got bit or whatever, and it was still on the cheese factor. But I still like that movie too. So, but it was very small part of that. There was one zombie show on Sci-Fi, or it might have been a movie, and Ving Rhames is in it, and there's like a zombie tiger or something, and I was like, what is this? Like, what are these things? Like, this is just super cheese. And maybe it's supposed to be, but I'm like, I ain't got time for that. So Kelly says, Sick is good. Megan was good, predictable. But yeah, okay, Sick. Okay, so Sick is the thing. I have to check it out. The twist was fantastic. Good. So, like, exactly. That's what I like. I like when stuff isn't exactly clear cut. You don't know how stuff's going to happen exactly. There's little twists and turns. Those are pretty good. That's what I like to see, you know? But, yeah, so some people like it. Some people don't. But, yeah, some people like certain movies, and they said in here, and then I watched the movie, and I'm like, nah, I didn't really like that one myself. But so it's February 26th. This is the last Sunday of the month. It'll be March 1st on Wednesday, which is good because I'm ready for March. I'm really ready for like May, but we got to get through March and April and then get into May. Because once we get to May, we got Fear the Walking Dead, which will be 6 weeks, and then we'll have the Dead City, which will be in June. And then take us into the summer, which will be the second part of Fear the Walking Dead. And then I'm guessing then we'll have Comic-Con. I'm guessing we'll have some trailers or some news or some stuff there. I would expect the Rick Grimes trailer at Comic-Con. That would be probably the big thing. That would probably be the big release at Comic-Con is my guess. And again, I don't work for them. I don't know. I'm just guessing myself. So that would be great. So we have Fear the Walking Dead in May and June, and then Dead City, June and July, and then Comic-Con in July, and then the rest of Fear the Walking Dead will probably be, July, early August, take us into August, September, and then early October can be the Daryl Show, and then that's the 6 episodes, 6 weeks, and then that's the end of the year. So once we get to May, it's going to roll right into each other. Fear the Walking Dead, Dead City, Comic-Con, Fear the Walking Dead, the Daryl Show, and then the year's over. And then I'm guessing February will be the Rick Show, and then we have Dead City Season 2, and then the Daryl Show Season 2. I'm guessing is 2024, but there's been no report exactly of when that's going to be for it. So, the Walking Dead universe is still going strong. I'm excited to see where it's going. Hopefully a lot of people are too. I'm guessing everybody in here is very excited for it because you wouldn't be involved in a live stream for that. But there's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of good stuff on television and stuff coming out. I have not seen Ant-Man. I'll probably wait to go watch that on one of the streaming services. But it's something that, I'll probably wait. The same thing with Creed 3 that comes out on Friday. I'll wait to go watch that, even though I do like Michael B. Jordan and the other guy, Jonathan Majors, I want to say his name is. But it's kind of cool to see. I don't know about you guys, but sometimes when you see different actors, there's always that like one or two actor or actress who gets in a groove with like a bunch of movies, and they're like in everything. Like it was the guy that's in Avatar, and he was in the Terminator movie, and then he was in this movie, and then he was in that movie. And that's kind of how I feel about Jonathan Majors. Like he was in the show on HBO, and then he's in another movie about the war movie, and now he's in Ant-Man, and then he's in Creed, and then it's in like so many things where they're in. So I don't know if it's just kind of habit where he just filmed a bunch of, he was in Loki, and he's like filming in a bunch of stuff, and it just happens to be coming out or around the same time, or is that like the new actor that's kind of there? So we'll have to see how it goes down for that movie, but it's kind of cool to see, especially if you like the actor for it. But yeah, guys, so the recent information I got about the Rick stuff is pretty cool. Like I said, if you get to see my picture that I posted in our video from my source, that's definitely cool to see, and hopefully you get to see with at the PT channel on Rick. And I was like, I don't want to do this because it kind of takes away from the photo, even though you clearly see Rick and the gear and the stuff on there too. But you can see people are still getting around it somehow. That picture, that's the only picture. There weren't a bunch of people there from my source. So if you get to see that photo somewhere on Twitter or Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and it doesn't have the watermark on it, they took it off, because I don't know anybody else that has it, that the source was by themselves right there when they took it. So it's pretty cool. Have I ever played The Evil Within? I definitely have not. I haven't really right now I'm just playing Fortnite. I haven't really played. I played the God of War Ragnarok, which was a great game. It's always like I try to stretch out video games, because you can a lot of times beat a video game in a day or two if you play it for like 8 hours. You can play it enough story and go through it. But the Last of Us video game was a really good one too. But God of War Ragnarok, I tried to stretch it out and let it go as much as I could. But after a while, you're just like, all right, man, I'm right towards the end of it. I'm all leveled up and I'm ready to go. Let's go get this final boss. And then there was still stuff to do after the game, which is always a good thing. I like the idea of, playing a video game that's worth it. I still have to go back and play a couple other games. I never beat that. I have it in the thing because I rented it. It was the zombie game. What is it now? I forget. I'm blanking on it. I haven't played it in forever. And then my wife bought it for me for Christmas a couple years ago, and it's still in the packaging. And I want to end up getting back to it and play it. And then I have to play the Miles Morales Spider-Man game. I have to get, I started that, and then I was playing Fortnite, and then playing God of War, and so I'm excited to get back into that. And Fortnite draws you in, man. It draws you in with all the different things. Every week they're adding new stuff and new challenges and new stuff to get in there and new skins or whatever. Like, oh man, I gotta go play for this back bling, or I gotta go play for this skin, or I gotta go play for this, whatever. Diablo, you should play it. I never played Diablo. I mean, I used to play Doom and Duke Nukem and all this. I've played a lot of video games, but there's just so much stuff out there now. It's just too much. Rob K says Shazam 2 comes out in March 2. So Shazam 2 is Jerry in that? Cooper Andrews in there? Hopefully get to see him. I do like to see that. And the first Shazam movie was pretty good. Kelly plays Fortnite as well. Cool. The Sick movie I've seen, I believe, is on Peacock. I could be wrong. I don't know where else the Sick movie is at, or Sick, the movie. I think I just saw it on Peacock, but I'll have to too. Spider-Man 2 is going to be great. Spider-Man 1 was great. That was a great. And if they do the same thing, that might be the next game that I have to get after all this stuff. I guess one of the last questions here, Phantom Deluxe. Last question, Bri. Do you think the anticipated fight against CRM will be fought by the future generation means Judith, RJ, and so on, our original cast would eventually die fighting against CRM? Well, I don't know, because Daryl's not going to die. Rick, I think, is going to die at the very end of his story. His part. Michonne's not going to die. Morgan's not going to die. Maggie's not going to die. Negan's not going to die. I think you have to have the old with the new. Older RJ. So if we already have 2 years that have gone by in the Negan and Maggie story, Judith is 2 years older. RJ, 2 years older, at least, if we ever see them again, which I hope we do. But Kaylee Fleming could play older Judith. I don't know if RJ, the actor who plays RJ, if he's going to be older or not, or they recast him. Because the only characters they've ever recast was Judith when she was a baby for like ever. Because they had a set of twins, and then another twins, and then another twins, and then another twins, and then another twins. And then they finally had Kaylee Fleming as older Judith. And so we get to have, a character that can finally be older, and RJ might be the same. Well, by that time, it could be like same thing with Jerry's sons and Coco, and we get to see different. And then Herschel's definitely older in the trailer for that. But I'm gonna do different trailer breakdowns, teaser trailer breakdowns of the Fear the Walking Dead and Dead City, because that's stuff that came out of the teaser trailers too. So I'm definitely going to be doing that. I'm going to say, because again, so I got training tomorrow and Tuesday and Friday. So hopefully I can get a video or two out. I don't know, this week. It's just crazy because we have a lot of time before Fear the Walking Dead is in May. So if it's May 14th when that first episode starts for Fear the Walking Dead, we still got all of March and all our, but we got 2 months. So we got 2.5 months before Fear the Walking Dead comes back. And hopefully we get some more news and more information. I would love to get a picture of Denai or see another picture of Denai. And if my source is able to get it, or if other people are able to get it, or if other people get it and I share it, I would definitely credit the sources. That's kind of a stickler with me. It kind of bugs me that people take stuff and don't credit it. And, I've learned, I've been doing this for a long time. It's just definitely, you feel, I don't know, just like violated or something. If someone takes your stuff and you don't post it right, it's like, come on, man. It's just give us credit. That's all, and you try not to do that with other stuff and blah, blah. And then, it's kind of a whole big thing. But all right, guys. So that's my time for this live stream at January 26th, 2023. Tonight is The Last of Us Season 1, Episode 7. Looks like we're going to get more of an Ellie story. We're going to have more of a get the backstory of Ellie. I believe Ellie's mom on the show is actually the voice actress that's going to play her mom in the show, which is awesome. It's always good to see that, different stuff that we get to have from the video game. Like certain voice actors have been on the show. It's happened really much every episode so far, which is awesome. I'm excited to see where that's going to be there. But it should be another good episode for The Last of Us. All of them have been really good, if not great so far. I'm excited to see how that goes down. And then I have to watch Mayor of Kingstown, 1923. There's a lot of good stuff. There's a lot of good television. And then once we get into March, we got Mandalorian. So again, I don't know how many episodes Mandalorian is, but if we got, 6, 8, 10 episodes, it'd be great. I don't know what it's been in the past, but that's at least probably 6 weeks. So that's March 1st. Takes us all the way in to, April. And then if we got there, then we're getting close. So if we got the first, so if we got Mandalorian, which would be first, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if it's 6 episodes, which I don't know how many episodes it is at all, but it takes us into the first week of April, which is good. And then we'll find some other show and some other thing there and other stuff there to talk about. So there's always good stuff there. Once we find out more information about all the different shows, Yeah, sorry, I didn't see your questions because I'm talking and there's a little delay for it on there too. Let me go back and see. I didn't see a question there. Didn't see a question there. Let me see. I told you that we wouldn't see Rick until 2024. Great. That's not a question. Thanks for not answering my questions. All right, peace. So if we're going to be like that, have a good time. If we're going to be dealing with that stuff, either way, let me know your thoughts. Post your comments below. Have a